What's up, you guys? Good morning. This is Sunday, the 7th, and today is our Kundalini class. And today we're going to be doing our Strengthening the Inner Light Kriya, which is very, very short. And the reason that we're doing such a short Kriya today is because I wanted us to have time to engage in a 15-minute breath work session that, usually we'll do. If we do any kind of breath work, we usually keep it around 3 minutes just because that's really all we have time for in an hour-long Kundalini class. Today we're going to make time for a 15-minute session of breath work today. It's really funny to me because a lot of the times, I think we think our perception is that life is mundane, the world is mundane, it's challenging, it's harsh. Our perceptions of ourself are not necessarily in alignment with our truth often, which is that we are also these miraculous creatures, these amazing embodiments of humanity, divinity expressing itself as humanity. And today I just wanted us to take our time in our practice to remember who we are and to really come into a deep connective experience with the truth of our being. And that's not something, that anybody can tell us what it is. We have no way of perceiving it except for feeling into it and experiencing it personally. And that's what I want our practice to be about today, experiencing that miraculous truth of your being, that divinity expressing itself as humanity, that God energy manifesting itself through our experience. We're literally like cosmic stardust. Literally, quite literally, we are created from the universe itself. And there's so much amazingness to this experience. And like I said, it's our perceptions. We create the mundane. We're the ones who say that this time and space is harsh and not viable place to be. We're the ones who say that we're not worthy. And the reason that is because we were programmed to believe that. We didn't get these ideas out of thin air. We've been programmed to believe that we're not special. We've been programmed to believe that we're fragile and that we are, not miraculous and that we're not special and amazing. And so we really have to fight against that programming. This is where we have to peel away all of the layers of untruth so that we can actually source the truth. And we're going to do that today by feeling it, experiencing it. So like I said, our Kriya for strengthening the inner light, this one is a really beautiful one because it helps us to increase our wisdom and experience so that we can live in our humanity as human, but with those higher consciousness. So we're tapping into that, God, source, creator energy through that space. And it helps us to balance the difference between our inner reality and our expression. So a lot of the times our expression is based off of who we believe ourselves to be. Well, today I want our expression to be based off of the truth of our being that we're experiencing through our practice. And this is where we need to learn to carry it off the mat, right? I'm not just going to feel into it for this hour today on my mat that, oh, I'm special for a moment. No, this is why we need to come back to ourselves all the time in our practices like meditation and whatever those things are that give us our ability to be self-aware and to connect to the truth of our being. It's all about self-awareness, coming back to ourselves, learning the truth of who and what we are. And then we're going to come into that breath work. This is the Trinity breath that we're going to be doing today. And we're going to be doing 15 minutes of this breath. And it's a really, really beautiful one. And this one is supposed to give you a strength which you never had before. And that strength, I believe, is a necessity in allowing us to tap into the truth of our being. It takes strength to come up against all of our conditioning. It takes strength to peel away the layers of social programming and all of the stuff of who we've been told we are, the world telling us who we are before we actually get the chance to realize it for ourselves. And so it takes the strength of recognizing that I don't have to buy into the programming. We're a lot easier to control if we don't realize the true beauty and magnificence and miraculous nature of our beings. If we are suppressed and we believe that we are very small, we're much easier to manipulate and to control. And so it's about creating the new and giving ourselves the ability to be in such close connection to source that we create such new, amazing thoughts, concepts, ideals, practices, ways of doing and being that are so different than have ever been experienced before, that we create the world that we want to live in. If we cannot tap into the magnificence of our being, we're not willing to see that, we're never going to create that new stuff, right? And that's what we're trying to be prevented from doing, is tapping into that space, creating this new way of being and doing that literally catches the world on fire. So let's get started today by grounding into our easy seat. We're going to tune in long through the spine, rubbing the palms of the hands together, creating that friction and heat. Allow your body to draw you into posture. Taking you into the fullness of your ability to sit and receive. Tuck those thumbs into your breastbone. Sits bones are rooted and grounded into the earth beneath you. Shoulders are dropped back and down. Heart space is radiating forward. Crown of the head is shining into the sky. Priming our body for receiving that maximum volume of pranic energy, that life force energy, to lift us up, to energize us, to catapult us forward. We're going to tune in by using that mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo 3 times. Tuning into those higher aspects of our own being, that soul space. We're going to call our truth forward, allow that part of our being to guide us through our experience today so that we can feel into that truth, fully experience it. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale deeply, suspending the breath, apply the root lock if it's in your practice today. Always being mindful of your own body. Exhale, release the lock, release the hands. Gently allowing those eyes to flutter open whenever you're ready. So we're going to come first into that strengthening the inner light, and then we're going to move into our breath work, but we're going to start with a little bit of gentle movement, warming up our bodies just a little bit. So we're going to come into our yogi march. When I'm standing up, though, you're not going to be able to see my hands, so I want you to see what we're doing with our arms before I come into that standing position. So the arms are going to be at the side. We're going to come into our Gyan Mudra. Pointer finger and thumb connect. The rest of the fingers are going to be pointed into the sides, or into the sky, not into the sides. We're going to inhale, up, exhale down, inhale, up, exhale down. Okay? So I'm going to come into that standing posture. And we're going to come into our yogi march. So our elbows are gently resting at our side. Fingers are in the Gyan Mudra. And starting with our right leg, we're going to inhale up, lift that right knee, exhale down, inhale up through the left leg, exhale down. Continue on at your own pace. Strong breath with your yogi march. Move as fast or as slow as you need to. We're going to be here for a couple minutes. Warming up the body, getting the circulation moving. Just a little bit longer. Inhale, arms up. Suspend the breath. Apply your root lock. Exhale. Nice and slow and gentle. Release those arms down until the palms of the hands find the sides of the thighs. Take a couple deep breaths. And then come back seated on your mat. All right. So we're going to come into our torso twist next. A little cold out here, y'all. For our torso twist, this one's super easy. Take those hands, draw them over. Hands fall over the shoulders, fingers towards the front, thumbs towards the back. We're going to inhale, twist to the left. Exhale, twist to the right. Detoxifying your organs, detoxifying your tissues with that twisting motion. Letting go of the stuff that's not serving you by engaging in the movements necessary to move the energy within those organs, within those tissues. When we refuse to come into movement, when we refuse to move our bodies, all of that stuff gets stuck, stays stagnant, creates immense blockages that your energy cannot freely flow through. So it's so important that we engage in these movements and let go of that old crap that would bog us down, that could create issues in our health and well-being. Detoxing the body, letting go of the old stuff. Just a little bit longer. Take that twist as deep as feels safe. Inhale to center. Suspend the breath, apply your root lock. Exhale. Release the hands. Release the lock. Take a moment to catch your breath. Open those eyes whenever you're ready. Last warm-up exercise are the shoulder shrugs. Inhale, draw those shoulders up towards the ears, palms of the hands gently resting face down on the knees. Exhale, let it go. Inhale up, exhale down. Really, when you drop those shoulders, let them drop so that the body is like shaking loose all of that energy that's not serving you. We're shaking loose all of that old programming, all of the old stories that tell us that we're not amazing, miraculous creations, creator, manifestors that are in control of our own experiences, that are here to shine our magnificent light into the universe to help shift this time and place exactly where it's meant to be. Shaking loose of all of the stuff that's not in agreement with that truth. Close the eyes. Draw your attention, your awareness up to that third eye point. And sink into that posture, that exercise. Continue on. Just a little bit of time left. You are the universe in ecstatic motion. Inhale, draw those shoulders up towards the ears. Suspend your breath, apply your root lock. Exhale, releasing those shoulders down into their neutral position. Release your lock. Keep those eyes closed for a moment. Palms of the hands are still gently resting on top of the knees. And just feel into your body for a moment. Feel how those exercises made you feel. Each exercise that we take, whether it be in yoga or Kundalini Yoga or whatever practice, whatever movement you take, is an experiment to see how that movement affects your body. How does it make you feel? What do you feel moving or shifting inside of your being? What makes you feel amazing and full of life? What really draws that prana into your being? And then we lock those things away in our toolbox so that in the future we know we can use them when we're not feeling our best, when we're not feeling super strong, when we're not feeling the majestic nature of our being. We can tap into that stuff, we can pull them out and use them again. Slowly and gently opening up those eyes whenever you're ready. We're moving into our strengthening the inner light Kriya. Like I said, it's very short. In fact, there's only two exercises in this particular Kriya. And, well, technically three, if you include the meditative aspect at the end. Now, like I said, this Kriya is going to help you gain endurance and constancy. So we're always functioning from the truth of our being, so that we're more consistently functioning from that space than the stories that we've told about who and what we are, the programs that we've got installed up here. A lot of those times, those underlying programs are so insidious that it takes us some time to peel them away. We have no idea that they're even in there. We didn't even know that those were the programs, right? We just accepted them as our truth. We accepted them as a part of our belief system to the point where we never even questioned it. So, when we're doing some of these particular kriyas and exercises, some of that stuff might come up where you're like, hey, this doesn't feel right. Or what do you think about this? Is this really my belief, or is this really my truth, or is this something that has been provided to me? So a lot of that stuff can come up during your practice, and just be aware of that. If it comes up, just see it, witness it. That's something you can come back to later if you really want to peel away the layers of it, right? But right now, we're just witnessing and experiencing. Allow that stuff to move through you. If it's something you want to revisit later, you can spend more quality time peeling away those layers of the onion. So the second exercise of this particular kriya is going to give us energy to the upper body and stretch our life nerves in the legs. The life nerves are those sciatic nerves that run really close to the surface of the skin, along the back side of the leg, starting at the hip, working down the back side of the leg. Those things can get really, really sensitive if we don't take movement regularly. If you spend a lot of time seated, these are really important exercises for you. And the third one is going to allow us to, the energy to change, to stabilize and call it, I can't speak, my gosh, to stabilize and consolidate themselves. So whatever energy changes occur within this exercises, this last exercise gives us the ability to stabilize and consolidate it. So whatever that is, whatever comes up for you during this particular exercise or kriya. In life, we must increase our wisdom and experience so that we can live in our humanity, but with a higher consciousness. And this is really important, because this is what gives us the ability to be light and effective, but also very humble, right? So this is why a teacher remains a student throughout his life and grows more humble with age. This kriya lets the self-care of the gross self, so that the physical body can have the energy to carry out the self's desires. So this gives our physical body the ability to carry out the self, the true self, which is our spirit, the desire of our heart. So whatever that is, this kriya is going to help sustain us and give us the strength to carry that out, because it's based off of the truth of our being, right? And the regular practice of this kriya can help balance the difference between your inner reality and your expression. A good way to practice this kriya is to repeat the set 3 or 4 times. So if that's something you choose to do in the future, you can do that, and you could do it 3 or 4 times in a row. So we're only going to do it once today. In this first exercise, we're sitting in easy pose. Hands are in Gyan Mudra. We're going to keep the elbows straight, closing the eyes, focusing deeply. And just start by inhaling and exhaling deeply. And then we're going to come into a cycle of breath. Inhaling and exhaling 12 times. And then on the 13th breath, we're going to inhale deeply, and we're going to pulse our navel as many times as you can until you have to take a deep inhalation. And then you're going to exhale, inhale again, and begin that series of 12 breaths until you hit the 13th. Inhale deeply on that 13th breath. Pulse the navel as many times as you can with that breath held until you have to take another deep inhalation. Then inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhale, begin again. Eyes are closed. Focusing deeply within your inner being. We're going to be doing this for 3 minutes. When you're pulsing that navel, really pulse as intensively as you can, pumping that stomach in and out at a moderate pace. Normal inhalation and exhalation on those first 12 breaths. And then on that 13th breath, inhale deeply. Pulse the navel as many times as you can until you need to exhale. Excuse me, I think I said inhale last time, but it's exhale. And then inhale to begin again. You're more than halfway through. This is going to be our last round of breath. So once you finish that 13th breath and the pulsing of the navel, exhalation, inhale deeply. Suspend your breath and apply your root lock to seal the energy of that exercise into your body. And exhale when you can no longer suspend the breath. And then just closing the eyes, gently resting the hands, the palms of the hands face down on the knees for a moment. Aware of your own energy. Take a moment to visualize yourself, that inner light shining from within your own being, strengthening, growing, shining even brighter. The truth of your being, that authentic essence of who and what you are, that unadulterated soul space energy shining as brightly as it can from within your being, a million trillion points of light shining in all directions. Slowly and gently opening up those eyes whenever you're ready. This next exercise is one of those that, some of these exercises in Kundalini, if you've never done them before, you're kind of like, what are we doing? This is weird. This is kind of one of those, just because of the way that we're going to be holding our face in this particular exercise, but it's a life nerve stretch. It's one that we're all familiar with, or most of us, if we've been engaging in the Kundalini. We're going to come long through our left leg. We're going to tuck our right foot into the inside of our left thigh, hinging forward from our hips. You're going to press your thumbnail into the big toe of your left foot. You can gently rest the right hand on top or if you need to find your shin, whatever it is that's most comfortable and safe for you in your practice, that's what you're going to do today. In gazing towards the toes, you're going to crinkle your nose like you're about to sneeze. And you're going to gaze at that toe and you're going to breathe long and deep. We're going to be here for 3 minutes. Keep the spine as straight as you can, looking toward the toes, breathing deeply, constricting the tip of your nose like you're sniffing or about to sneeze. We're going to hold that posture with our face. We're going to hold that. And gazing at the toe. You are not small. You're not fragile. You have all of the ability to hold within your being as much vitality as you choose to hold within that part of your being. Every atom in your body came from a star that exploded, and the atoms in your left hand probably came from a different star than your right hand. In reality, the most poetic thing I know about physics is that you're all stardust. If you do not consider yourself a testament to the impossible, let me help you understand. You are an assortment of atoms carving out its very own fate with your stardust powered hands. Keeping that nose crinkled, keeping the spine nice and straight. Just a little bit longer. You can relax the face and inhale deeply. Suspending your breath, apply your root lock, Mula Bandha. Exhale. Release that hand. Stretch out both legs, pedal them out for a moment. And then come back into your comfortable, easy seated posture. Come nice and straight in the spine. Take those hands into Gyan Mudra if you wish. Pointer finger and thumb connect. Fingertips gently resting downward towards the earth as those wrists drape over the knees. Or you can gently rest the palms of the hands on the knees face down. Close those eyes. Draw your awareness back inside of your own being. Collect your energy back inside of yourself. Visualize your spine from the base to the top, and then to the brow point. Relaxing and meditating. Ensure that that breath is deep. On every inhalation, the belly is rising up away from the body, fully expanding through the belly. And exhaling and drawing the navel towards the spine. On each inhalation, the body shifts and moves, allowing those diaphragms to create more space within your upper body, the core of your being, so that you can draw more of that pranic life force energy into your body. This is where we take what we need from the universe, all of that energy of abundance, all of that energy from that great well, that never ending cornucopia of everything that exists, all possibility. This is where, through the breath, we choose to take what we need to sustain our being. We energize and empower our being with that pranic life force energy. So, deeply inhaling gives yourself to take as much of that cosmic life force energy as you can from the universe. Draw it into your being, allowing it to shift, to transmute, to align your being to the most high vibration possible. So, making sure that every breath is deep and full, giving that body as much space as it can to draw that pranic life force energy in. On every exhalation, letting go of everything that is not in alignment with that highest vibratory state of being. Inhale deeply. Suspend your breath and apply your root lock. Exhale, releasing the lock, releasing the breath. Gently opening up those eyes whenever you're ready. We're going to move into our Trinity breath now. Like I said, we're going to be here for 15 minutes. This can feel like a lot of things are going to go through you sometimes when we're in these long breath works, and that's totally okay. Sometimes we're going to feel panic. Sometimes we're going to feel resistance. Sometimes we're going to feel frustrated, anger, rage. Like you'll be surprised at some of the emotions and feelings that can rise up for you during some of this breath work. And that's totally normal. And especially because for this Trinity breath that we're going to be doing, it's particularly cleansing and removing a lot of the obstacles and blockages that are existing within our being that we have created through the old programs, the old stories, the old belief systems, and all of the stuff that's limiting us from accessing our highest potential, that highest vibration. So what we're doing is we're letting go of all of that old stuff. We're clearing all of those blocks, those roadblocks out of the way. We're pulling big tree stumps out of the flow of the river, of life's natural flow, right? So when we're removing some of those old blockages that have been with us for a very, very long time, it can feel uncomfortable, and that's totally normal. So give yourself permission to feel uncomfortable sometimes when we're going through this, but persevere, push through. Remember that just because I feel uncomfortable doesn't mean I have to stop, but also knowing your body and taking care of yourself to the greatest availability possible. If you do need to stop and you know you need to stop, honor that part of your being. Take a moment to regroup, and then come back whenever you can, okay? So for this Trinity breath, we're going to keep our hands just resting on the knees. You can keep them palms face down, or you can have your Gyan Mudra if that feels more comfortable and safe. Nice, long, straight spine. So like I was saying, we want to create that nice, open, energetic channel. Whenever we come into our seated posture, we're really giving ourselves the greatest availability to draw in pranic energy within our being through the inhalation and exhalation. Nice long straight spine, nice long straight clear channel for the energy to move, for those blockages to be removed, all of those kinds of things, right? We're preparing ourselves to receive the greatest amount of energy and shift and growth and expansion from within our practice as possible. So make sure you're nice and straight and long in the spine. To do that, we have to tuck that chin back ever so slightly, back and down, so that that vertebrae are stacked nicely right on top of one another. Crown of the head shining into the sky. Heart space is radiating forward, okay? So keeping in mind your posture when you're in your breath work. Um, for this one particularly, it's the Trinity breath. We're gonna I'm just going to show you. So this eye work can feel really annoying at first until you train your eyes to be able to take this gaze, but it's really good for strengthening the muscles around your eyes. And of course, there's a lot of other benefits that come with it, but we're also specifically what that does is let me find it so I'll make sure I'm reading it correctly. Um, it helps our pituitary gland. So we're using our breath to help cleanse the pituitary gland. The pituitary, which is at the end of the nose, has to adjust. So it says, give it a chance. It's not the time, it's just doing it. It's not the practice, it's perfecting it. This can give you strength, which you never had before. So that pituitary gland, which is responsible for so much, we're really helping to clear all of that energy from within that space with this gaze. Eyes are 9/10 of the way closed. We're going to be gazing at the tip of the nose, okay? So you're in your comfortable, easy seated posture. Eyes are 9/10 closed. You're gazing at the tip of the nose. You're going to pucker your lips slightly and inhale powerfully 2 strokes through the mouth. And then we're going to exhale forcefully through the nostrils 1 time. So it's so if you need to start with the breath and then adjust your gaze towards the tip of the nose, do whatever it is that you need to do to come into this breath comfortably. So go ahead and place your hands wherever you need to. We're going to be here for 15 minutes, guys. And you might feel a lot of resistance with the gaze initially, and matching it with the breath and allowing it to feel natural and comfortable. And that's where I say if you just persist and you continue on and focus your energy, eventually it will sync up and you'll find that you hit this sweet spot where it just happens. So, really, what's important, I think, in this particular breathwork exercise is to call forth that part of your being, that ancient wisdom aspect of your being that already knows what to do, and give it permission to take over so that that breath and that gaze can sync up with one another so that this can feel as natural as possible, as quickly as possible. If you need to take a break with the gaze, like I said, if it just feels so overwhelming and you know you need to take a break, you can take a moment to close the eyes, but continue with the breath. Try not to break the breath pattern. And then draw the gaze back to the tip of the nose whenever you can. And remember, this is a 9/10 gaze. So the eyes are just nearly closed. You're just ever so slightly holding those eyes open so that you can gaze towards the tip of the nose. And just taking that breath at your own pace. Come into that natural rhythm. Allow the body to find its own natural rhythm. And really pumping that navel as you're inhaling and exhaling. Powerful breath. First through those slightly puckered lips, exhaling through the nose. So powerful breath. You're giving yourself strength you never knew you had before. Giving yourself strength to be that most authentic embodiment of who and what you are without needing anybody's permission, without having to try to adjust or temper parts of your being to fit into society or to make other people happy. Just allowing that fullness of yourself to radiate from within your being. You can even visualize that beautiful golden light radiating from within your being, shining in all directions. We've been taught to follow the crowd. We've been taught to go no further than the crowd, keeping us small, keeping us from accessing the fullest embodiment of who and what we are, keeping us from birthing into this time and space the most magnificent, amazing new energies that the universe has ever seen before. When we walk our own path, we find ourselves in places that no one has ever been before. When we give ourselves permission to fully radiate from the truth of our being, when we see ourselves from those divine eyes, those eyes of God, those eyes of Source that see all of the magnificent beauty, not just the potential of who and what we are, but the truth of our being. And when we honor ourselves from within that space, miracles, magnificent, amazing, new things are birthed into this universe. That is why we're here. We're here to do those things. We're here to be our fullest expression, always, unabashedly, totally unfiltered, fully and completely the truth of our being. Powerful breath. You're already 5 minutes in. Inhaling through those pursed lips 2 times, exhaling once through the nostrils. firing up that navel point center. Navel point center that's responsible for the perception of ourselves. How do you see yourself? What do you think about yourself? All of that stuff that's not in alignment with those divine perceptions, releasing it on that forceful exhalation through the nose. All of that stuff that's not your truth that you've been carrying with you for so long, those insidious programs, potentially some of them you don't even know what they are. We're just letting go. We're giving ourselves permission to release whatever those things are that are keeping us limited, that are keeping us from accessing that fullest expression, that highest vibration. Got about 6 minutes left. Really give yourself permission to allow that breath to take over, to fully alchemize within your being whatever energies need to be shifted, transmuted, aligned, released. Surrendering to our higher selves and accessing the fullest potential possible within this exercise, within this breath work today. 'Giving yourself strength you've never had before. Cleansing all of those things out of your being. Removing all of those limitations, all of the glass ceilings that you've created for yourself. We're going to go busting through all of those glass ceilings today so that we can access infinite possibility, so that we can access all of the amazing opportunities that are available to us within this lifetime. Three more minutes. few more seconds. On your next inhalation or exhalation, we're going to inhale deeply and take the palms of the hands and press them together in front of the heart space in prayer pose. Forearms are parallel to the earth. Continue to hold that breath. Press those hands together as strong as you can until those hands shake. We're really compressing that energy between the palms of the hands. Press, 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 press forcefully. Exhale. Inhale deeply. Pressing those hands together super forcefully, shaking the body. Exhale. Inhale, reach those arms up into the sky as high as you can, long as the body as you possibly can make it. Crown of the head is really drawing itself upward into the sky. Super, super, super long spine. Holding that inhalation. When you can no longer hold that inhalation, exhale slowly, super, super, super slow, grounding your energy all the way down, feeling into that beautiful, magnificent auric field shining so bright, feeling into all of that magnificent energy that you generated and created throughout your practice today. Allow those fingertips to find the earth. Closing those eyes and just taking a moment to breathe into your body. And then really super slow and gentle whenever you're ready. Draw yourself down into your final Shavasana corpse pose posture. Laying down in the earth, fully prone, legs are stretched out before you, arms are gently resting at the side of your body. Even take those shoulders and drop them down away from your ears. Palms of the hands can be resting face down into the earth, or palms can be face up to receive. You can take those palms and gently rest them on the belly if you wish, or on the heart space to fully connect to that being, that inner part of your being, that soul space energy, that authentic expression of who and what you are. You can cover up with a blanket here if you need to cocoon that energy into your being fully. Just roll up in that blanket and conserve that energy inside of your body, inside of your energetic field. And then sink into your breath, your natural breath now. Nice deep breaths. Fully relaxed. Safe and comfortable. Feeling so strong, so connected. Beautiful and precious soul, remember where you came from. Answer the ancient truths echoing in your bones. You are a free, sovereign being, an embodiment of divine love, wisdom of the whole universe personified. Your life is sacred. Sometimes it may seem like glimpses of your true self. Perhaps you experience them on the mat. You might experience them when you're kissing somebody you love or feeling into that beauty of this time and space, that deep gratitude within your heart as it wells up. And you really get that opportunity to see yourself with those eyes of truth. But we don't want that to be moments in time. We want to be able to carry that vision of ourselves off of our mat into our daily lives. Every single moment we identify ourselves with those eyes only through the truth of our nature. So we keep doing the work. We keep doing the work of removing the obstacles. We keep doing the work of learning who and what we are in our truest nature, the self awareness, the coming back to the self, so that we can more fully access that place, that vision of ourselves more consistently. No longer just catching glimpses of our truth, but always seeing ourselves from those eyes of the divine. My precious life is a sacred path of discovery. There are always forks in the road, but I am never lost. For I am simply exploring all of the wonderful twists and turns. I am so excited and grateful to be alive. My heart is open to receiving all the joy in the universe. I am at peace with the unknowing of where my life will take me because I know that I am eternally loved and cared for. My life is a story of perfect love. I live every day with passion and courage. My time on this earth has an amazing purpose, and I so choose to live my life with great meaning. Slowly and gently start drawing your awareness back to your own being, back to your breath first. Through the deep inhalation and exhalation, feeling the body rising and falling with each breath. And just starting to wiggle those fingers and toes, those outer extremities, bringing that blood flow, that life force energy back into those places. You can rotate the wrists, the hands around the wrists and the feet around the ankles. Take those gentle stretches that are necessary to wake up the rest of the body. take those gentle cat stretches or full body stretches. And then draw the knees into the chest. Take a moment to rock side to side for a moment, just gently pressing that spinal fluid into all of those nooks and crannies of the spine, facilitating that flexibility and mobility of our being. And then gently beginning to rock back and forth a few times before you take yourself up into your comfortable, easy seated posture, so that we can finish our practice today with 3 long Sat Nams. Sat Nam, I am truth. Truth is my name. Truth is my identity. Utilize that mantra anytime you feel like you are becoming disconnected from the truth of your being, when you're sinking back into the old programs, when you're getting stuck in the old stories, or you're feeling like you don't remember who or what you are. Utilize that mantra, Sat Nam, to draw yourself back into your own being. Take those hands into prayer pose, anchor the thumbs into the breastbone, long through the spine. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale to begin. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Namaste. The divine light in me honors that divine light that exists within each and every one of you. I choose to see you, not the you that you have created, that egoic expression of your being, but the beauty of your own soul, that light that you're projecting, that you're manifesting. May we all connect to that space first. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys have an awesome Sunday. Bye.